Hey there, Wall Street winners. It is Monday, October the 7th, and it is just a few minutes into the start of trading. We're about 10 minutes in to the start of trading on today, on Monday, October 7th, and there is a lot going on at the moment and this week. So, few things to touch upon. So Donald Trump had a big rally this weekend. Elon Musk spoke at it. Tesla has a big autonomous driving announcement coming out this week. And we're in for the first of the big investment banks' earnings this week. So coming in this week, starting on Friday, is going to be JP Morgan, and they will be reporting on Friday, and that'll give us a bit of an indication of what's going on in that banking and investment banking sector. And I'm expecting good things and a bit of a run-up into that. In fact, I'm looking to get in on some Goldman this week as it dips down into the low 490s, hoping for a pop into the 510, 520 kind of range on a positive earnings report. We can see that if we look at the markets here in the Bloomberg app and the futures, well, now the futures are the open, but they were all down in the futures. If we go back to the actual overview, we can see that in the Americas, the S&P is now starting to, no, it's still way down. So this is incorrect right now. Anyway, so let's not use this as a gauge. Let's move over to the Yahoo Finance app and take a look at some of the stocks we follow. There are some interesting things going on across the board. So first of all of the U.S. indices here are down. Crude is up $1. It was up higher earlier, but it's now above 75. So it is on its way, based on the conflict in the Middle East, it is on its way back to the 80 or mid $80 range, because that has no end in sight right now. The NASDAQ is off as well. The VIX is up over 20, close to 21. This is something that I believe is going to come back down into the 15s 15 to 18 range, once we start getting earnings coming in and showing that we're on a good footing, solid footing going forward, and our likelihood of recession has been mitigated. You can see that Costco was down. It's making its way back. It's now up slightly, up about $1. The other health and retail are down for the most part right now. I'm kind of staying away from those at the moment. Most of my focus right now is on tech and finance, and we'll touch upon, and oil. We'll touch upon those. We can see CNR down under 155. If that came down into the low 150s, even lower than 154, if it hit 152, I would consider buying some CNR. I like CNR as a company. We can see here that from a dividend perspective, it pays just over 2% a year. It is going to have earnings on the 22nd, so it's a couple weeks out from earnings. And I believe it may take a bit of a hit when earnings come in, and that would be the point when I would look to pick that up, is on a drop after earnings, because I do believe it will recover going into next year. Then we have oil, and crude is up, so that is helping lift most of the oil stocks today. Not significantly right now, although I do feel these are on an upward trajectory. So I do expect Valero, which announces this month, towards the end of the month on the 24th. I do expect that Valero and some of the others will have probably a 10% gain between now and the end of October, especially with what's going on in the Middle East and all the turmoil over there, because again, I don't believe that's going to get resolved by the end of October. The one announcement on the oil front today was Chevron. So Chevron made an announcement that it's selling its $6.5 billion of interest in the Canadian oil sands projects to Canadian National Resources, which is symbol CNQ on the TSX, the Toronto Stock Exchange. So that is boding well for Chevron, lifting it $1.10 right now, more than most of the others in the oil space. And then as we scroll down into tech, NVIDIA is up, so the NVDL shares are up. Micron, it appears to be up based on the graph, but now it's red, and so now so the graph just hadn't updated. So it's off slightly. You just can't see it in this truncated graph, but it's around 102. I think Micron's a strong buy, but we're again 3 months out from earnings because they just announced in the last week or so. So I would hold off on that purchase at the moment. I think there are others that you can you can be more aggressive with in terms of more activity. So we can see ARM is up when most of the other techs are down. IBM is up slightly. Oracle up slightly, 2 cents. Meta is closing in on the $600 range. This is an incredible stock. I think it's got a lot of potential. I am very bullish on and positive on Meta going into earnings, and they report on the 30th of October, so the end of October. We've got NVIDIA making a comeback, up $2, so up to almost 127. That's a great spot for Meta, and shows that the strength of that company and its stock, I think it's going to continue to move forward. And I would expect that by the mid-November timeframe, NVIDIA will be $145 to $150 stock. That is my NVIDIA prediction. My Google prediction is now is a great time to buy. This is down 50 cents right now on the day, and I do believe this stock is going to 185. I've been buying and selling Google on the bounces and making money on the spreads in the last couple of weeks, and it has been a very positive, providing very positive returns. There was a very favorable article that came out last week towards the end of the week on SoFi and comparing SoFi to Valero in terms of stocks, and it was very bearish towards Valero and very bullish towards SoFi. So there's a lot of strong belief that SoFi will do a very good job at earnings, and that is at the end of the month on the 29th, and that will carry that stock forward. It's already up into the mid-8s right now. This was a stock that was down in, if we look even at the 1 month, this was down at $7 a month ago. So that's a $1.50-ish profit, and that's a huge move there, a 21% move upwards over the course of the last month. And that's a stock that we have been heavily in favor of over the last really 6 months or most of the year. You can see Goldman is off right now, down in the 493 range, and I am just about to make a purchase of Goldman once I finish this video, as I believe it will do very well going into earnings. I exited my Morgan Stanley on Friday in the 107 range, so I missed out on today's pop, but I do believe that it will drop a little bit before earnings. You can see that they announce in 9 days, so next week. Goldman announces in 8 days, so next week. So we've got that on the radar, and then JP Morgan in 4 days on Friday. So that's where we are today on October the 7th. Good luck with your trades, and if you're liking these videos, please hit the like and the subscribe button, and leave me a comment. Tell me what you're enjoying, and I can do more of that.